let's talk about this, Mjolnir. Yeah. So this should have been the easiest match to book with the talent involved and with with NXT's prestigious history with fans. This really should have been much bigger than it should have been. So, after NXT TakeOver happened on SummerSlam weekend, we were looking forward to the new reign of Killer Cross, who had begun his dog Doomsday Clock era of NXT, winning the title away from Keith Lee and calling Keith Lee up to demotion mode. Tragically, Keith Lee's reign as a transitional champion was all for naught because Karen Cross was injured during the match. People had hoped that, he's gonna be okay. Let's hope he's okay. But when you saw the extent of the shoulder damage he got, it bent, like it was ruined. I had a feeling, yeah, that arm is fucked. That shoulder is completely fucked. He's hurt, and he has to relinquish it, most likely. And sure enough, he had to relinquish the NXT Championship the following week, tragically, and they had to come up with a plan to get this whole reign back under control, because now they were like, well, we had a transitional champion. He got called up and was immediately retconned entirely out of existence because CFO is no longer working with WWE, so Bask in His Glory couldn't be used. So Keith Lee was back to square one. There was no point. Everything that was building up with him is gone, and now we got this dilemma, because now it's like we had this big plan for Karen Cross to have a run with the title, and now it's over. So yeah, this isn't like the Drew McIntyre incident where McIntyre was the champion, lost it to Andrade, but was injured during the match because they gave the belt to Andrade and he ran with it. So, yeah, so it was immediately decided during the show that they would build up this angle of where this was going to go, and it was announced that it would be a fatal 4-way 16-minute Ironman match between the 4 best of NXT, Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, Bebe, and Tommaso Ciampa. And when I heard what the match was, I was like, oh boy, we're really going to get something big here, because these were the 4 best of the best of NXT. They were all former champions. They all had a huge run with the belt, and especially Adam Cole. Sorry. But, yeah, this is a match that in theory should be the biggest NXT match of all time, because it's like it's okay. NXT's done it before. They could build 4 weeks up to this matchup and build it to be the main event of to compete against AEW during the Wednesday Night War, because that's what this was all really about. And we were like, oh, this is going to be good. A fatal 4-way 60-minute Iron Man match. We can build this up for a couple of weeks like we did this before, like when Asuka was champion, then she got hurt, had to relinquish the title. Oh, so, yeah, they have example. They have a past example. Nope, it's coming out on Tuesday. No build-up. And I was like, that's not how NXT operates. That is not how NXT operates. They would build us up. Like, I know it's not going to lead to a TakeOver match, because TakeOver just happened, so they have to do something with this. But yeah, and the other big glaring problem with this is that every NXT guy in that match is a heel. Tommaso Ciampa turned back to the dark side. Adam Cole was still a heel, even though he was technically considered a face by some when he fought Mr. Celebrity Pat McAfee. Johnny Gargano had turned to the dark side because of the herald of the Fiend, Finn Balor, contaminating him and destroying his soul. And Finn Balor was the heel because Bray Wyatt. So, this match had 1 week, less than a week of build-up, because they were airing this on Tuesday. They had, and to compound the issue, they had They had all of them heels. No one was a face, so you didn't know who to cheer for. The story was only built off of old continuity. There was no establishing storylines to make new interesting angles to take with the old continuity. And now it's like, oh boy, no build up. You're just telling us to remember the past instead of building up from the past to tell this next chapter. And then a bigger blow came to NXT on the side where Mauro Ranallo was let go. Yeah, Mauro Ranallo is gone from WWE. He's probably not coming back for a long time. But, yeah. So they lost their voice. So now they were like, oh, well, what do we do now? We lost our voice, who was doing great job. I would have loved to hear him call this match. And then you gotta remember, oh God, what can we do to tell a story? So, yeah. So, but like, you're thinking, well, that's okay. Like, it leads to a definitive conclusion, right? Or like, this is NXT. They don't really do that bait and switch attitude that the main roster does. And the match was really good. It was really good. You had, these were, like, you gotta remember, these are the elites within NXT at this time. And they have all held the title. Johnny Gargano being the least one with them because he only had it once, then lost it after a month, essentially. And, yeah. Oh boy. But, you know, sorry, I'm just a little tired right now. So, but, you know, it's like, well, he's Mr. Takeover. He can deliver. It's Finn Balor, he's awesome. Adam Cole, he's awesome. Tommaso Ciampa, he never lost the title. But, yeah, the idea that they would say you have to be invested in this match because, hey, it's a title match, instead of, hey, this is a complicated story featuring 4 people who absolutely have an interconnected history with each other, who absolutely hate each other despite being healed, and we can build off of this. We can give it a month worth of build-up and have the big delivery for a big pop for ratings. And sadly, that's not what happened. So we got this 60-minute Ironman match. It's going freaking awesome. Adam Cole and Finn Balor are the two with the top points. Gargano and Ciampa are 1-1. And Finn Balor got the big victory on the first fall as the first person to get the point. Adam Cole shocked everyone by getting a point after Finn Balor got his second point at the end. And yeah, but like, there were several problems with this match. Allow me to say this. The first one was the damn commercial breaks. I watched this on the network, and this is something I kind of have a problem with now with the network when looking at it. It's like, wouldn't it be good to have the network be like a feature episodes that, or director's cuts, so to speak, like show what's going on between the commercial breaks, because they've done this thing before with the app when they kept pushing it before the network, where they would show exclusive footage of backstage of the wrestling still happening after when the commercial breaks occur. And like, I was thinking, like, when they do that, like, with the network, they could go ahead and build off of it and like show the unedited match, like show it all in its entirety without the commercial breaks. But they didn't. They kept the commercial break cuts in without the commercials, which just makes it for awkward transition. So yeah, that's a detriment. But another moment that really irated people, and this was like the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot, was its ending. So remember how I mentioned Adam Cole got pointed up with Finn Balor after he got his second point? They were tied, and the match ended. Now, this is the part where you're like, well, Iron Man matches usually end with a draw. Why is this such a big deal? The problem fans had with this ending was essentially, you said you would promise a definitive ending, and like, okay, like they've extended the show much longer before in its format. Even on the USA Network, they could extend the match up to be an additional 15 minutes with Adam Cole and Finn Balor going at it. Nope, they said, nope, you will both fight for the NXT title next week on Super Tuesday. And that was like, wait, so you're dragging this out instead of just resolving it now when you could buy the time minutes? Like 15 minutes really would have killed you? And when that happened, you go off the air, and it's like the match you were building for several days, for less than a week, doesn't have a conclusion, and people are like, well, they felt robbed, and it's already detrimental to NXT enough as it is because they're not doing well with viewership enough above to stay on the air. But yeah, I'll probably talk about the AEW debacle of NXT later, but down the road. But okay, let's be honest. The match was great. The match was freaking awesome. It's everything you expect from these guys. The problem was the finish. In fact, people have been lately saying that about NXT. The NXT matches are great, but the finish happens and it's completely ruined. And I've seen people who were diehard NXT fans saying that it's not NXT. This is not NXT. This is a Vince McMahon tactic to bait and switch people. Say, we're going to have a definitive champion. Nope, you have to wait another week. Because, again, this is part of that whole, we got to get viewers away from AEW despite it being on a Tuesday. So, what? Are they going to, like, cancel the match for next week, use some excuse, and build it for another week? And then use it for the cheap brain pop when everything goes back to normal with the viewers, with the shows being back on their regular Wednesday night? Because it was said that Vince doesn't care about NXT. He doesn't see NXT as the brand it should be. He just sees it as we can use that to kill AEW. And that failed miserably. But, like, you're seeing these talented guys going at it, and it's like they do the WWE style finish, and it's like, but that's not NXT. NXT would have done this. They would have had after Karrion Kross had to relinquish it. They would have built it up for like 4 weeks, do a qualifier matches. Then on the final week before the match, they would have a special exclusive tag team match probably to have DIY reunite and take on Adam Cole and Finn Balor, the closest to a Bullet Club reunion in WWE will get. And they've never interacted in Bullet Club since they were not part of Bullet Club. I did love that moment. That was honestly the best moment when they do the Too Sweet, because even though they never knew each other in Bullet Club, because Finn Balor was Generation 1 and Adam Cole was Generation 3. But yeah, it was kind of awesome. It was awesome to see that moment, to see Generations 1 and 3 of that Bullet Club, and then there's Generation 2 Bullet Club in WWE. Like, I would love if they got a triple threat match out of that. But, the idea that they just went ahead and bait switched everyone, what really pissed everyone off. Like, this is not how NXT would have done it. If Triple H was still operating NXT in the outside party, it would have went different. But, you know, we got an agenda to feel. We got to kill AEW because AEW can't exist. AEW can't breathe. AEW can't thrive. Even though it's on a Tuesday night and AEW's on a Wednesday night. Even though, wait, this play made no sense. Okay, so yeah, they would have done that. I would have thought NXT would like book this, build this up for 4 weeks, then do the explosive NXT special episode. They did the Great American Bash. Why not do the same with this one? Make an NXT special of it. Hey, you could have made this build it up for. Well, I would say for Halloween, but that would have been 2 months, and that would have been taking a lot longer than it should have. But, like, you could have built this up all throughout September and do it. And if you somehow were able to get to October, you can make this Halloween Havoc NXT, a special in Saturday. So, yeah, this really irritated people, and a lot of people got heated over this, because they were once again saying this is a WWE bait and switch tactic. That's not how NXT operates. NXT builds stuff. NXT gives closure to it. Even when the injuries happen, they have a closure to the story. They don't just ignore it. Didn't say it happened. Like when Tommaso Ciampa got injured, they couldn't resolve the storyline anyway how, so they had to have Gargano and Cole fight. And then even after, Ciampa came out and hugged Gargano, and everything looked like he said he's earned it and everything. This rekindleship trying to give a sense of closure to it, but now it's like, nope, we gotta go ahead and do the WWE booking because WWE needs to kill AEW because that's gonna make it work. And I was like to NXT, Vince will never see NXT as anything but the best product to kill AEW with, which has failed miserably, or B, he would see it as the C show, or hell, even the F show, because it's not his world. It's never been his world. The only time when people and I said this before, one of the other reasons why I think NXT doesn't get the same amount of viewers is because mainstream fans don't know NXT besides the reality show, and we all know that era of NXT was terrible, that no one wants to talk about it. But it's sad that NXT's kind of reached this point. Like, this match should have been built up. They could have drawn 1 billion views with this if they did it right, if they did all the build up for it. In fact, when I think about it, I don't ever see NXT get an ad outside the USA Network. Like, I don't even see it air even on wrestling YouTube channel. Like, I'm on YouTube, I watch wrestling, or when there's a lot of interest in me watching wrestling videos, I get AEW ads, and I never seen one NXT ad. Heck, I watched a WWE video I recall a few months back, and I got an AEW ad in it. Which, gotta say something's off about that. But yeah, I never seen an NXT ad outside of WWE. He's USA home. Except that was an AEW ad, and they were taking a shot at NXT, except TNT made that decision, not at AEW. So, yeah, and yet that drew a crowd with it. But, yeah. Like, this match should have been a masterpiece of classic wrestling, a Fatal 4-Way, probably one of the best Fatal 4-Ways they could have produced. Instead, it's just like, it's an awesome match, but the ending kills it. So we're just left like, what the fuck are we supposed to do now? Like, we're supposed to just wait for the finish, and yet Ciampa and Gargano are just left out in the cold. Like, do they even have a plan for them now? Like, there are some that are saying that now, which is kind of scary, because when you say, is there a plan for them after this? Because you only thought that with the main roster show of Raw and SmackDown. Unless you have some favorites, your favorite guys usually were like, is there a plan for them? Do you have a plan for them? Do you have a plan for Keith Lee? Do you have a plan for Rey Mysterio? Because, yeah, it's kind of concerning to see where NXT's going with this. And this match very exemplifies that. This really should have been saved for a whole month and then build up to the big viewership. It could have had an awesome tag team match during the build. It wouldn't have been a takeover episode, but it would have been a special NXT episode. But, man. Yeah, so, yeah, there's a ton of baggage going on with this matchup, so I really don't know how to feel about this right now, about this whole thing. So we'll have to look forward, hopefully, if they don't cancel it or just give a non-finish ending to NXT with Finn Balor and Adam Cole, baby. And we'll see where this goes. So these were my thoughts on the NXT Championship Fatal 4-Way 60-minute Ironman match. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. If you like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more.